What's going on, everybody? Good morning. It is the first of the month, the first day of a new month, and you guys know that I like to do a sort of state of the channel recap at the start of every month. I like to do one video where I just kind of recap the month we just had and also talk a little bit about the month that we hope to have going forward. So things are about to get serious for the channel. Things are about to get serious for NFL fans everywhere. So let's talk about July, and then let's move to the new month that we just entered 9 hours ago, August. All right, so July. Started out slow. There wasn't really a lot going on. There was a little bit. We started to get a little bit of information about roster tweaks here and there. We started to get a little bit of stuff about who was injured, who was still coming back from an injury, who was close to coming back, who maybe wasn't close to coming back. And then about a week into July, I started doing my prediction series, which I did a very similar video series last year, and I did it again this year, and it went well. And that was something that people seemed to like and appreciate, and there was a good amount of feedback on those videos. But things didn't truly pick up until the last third or so of the month, where we finally got some genuine information from the team in the form of training camp sessions. We had 4 training camp sessions in a row, then we had 1 day off, and then we had some padded practice sessions. And each training camp session gives you so much information. Not all the information is going to end up correlating exactly to what we get during the season, of course, but there's still a lot of information to go through, and there are many robust talking points that you can make just from what you see and what you hear coming out of the VMAC when the team's actually practicing. So that basically started the traffic, and the traffic is at this point not really going to stop until the season ends in January or February. So we're basically on the track now. We are on the road, and we're not getting off until the season ends, because training camp turns into preseason, which turns into the regular season, which turns into the postseason. So we made it. We basically made it. So in that regard, July was a cool month because we finally got to the end, but it was tough for a while. There wasn't really a lot to talk about before then. I made some baseball videos. Obviously, the Mariners have kind of, well, we'll see what happens from here on out, but they had a really bad month plus. July was not good for them. For the most part, I didn't even really want to talk about them that much. I made my videos, but there's a lot of negativity going around that team right now. Maybe they're coming out of it now. We need to see. We need to see. But I did talk about that stuff. There was some little pieces of roster news, like Connor Williams. We had him in for a visit. That would be a big signing in my estimation. So we talked about that. Marquise Blair got re-signed by the team, which was interesting. There were a couple other little things happening here and there, but for the most part, we were just waiting for camp. And now camp is here, and we're off to the races, and people are starting to lock back in. Like, I can't really blame anybody if they tune things out during the month or the early parts of July, but now people are starting to come back into the fold here. So that was basically July in a nutshell. It was about the month that I thought we were going to have. It's slow at first, and then when camp starts up, people start to come back in. If your team does something, then obviously that's going to pull in some attention, but quite honestly, a lot of the things that teams do in the early part of July before training camp starts are usually negative things. They're usually about like contract disputes or trade requests. So who needs that? Who needs that? But yeah, really slow start to the month in terms of the channel. Basically the subscriber count was completely stagnant, but the last week or so with training camp, we were able to get to the goal that I had of 17,600 subs. We got there last day. It was a real down to the wire type thing, but we managed to get to 17,600 subs, which is really all I was expecting because I knew what this month was likely going to be. So happy to get there. And now in August, now that we're here in August, because things are actually going to be happening, 18,000 is probably going to be the end of month goal. So let's aim for 18,000 subs by the end of the month, and then 20,000 subs by the end of the year. Both those seem totally reasonable to me. We've had months like that before with zero problem. We're going to have so many games to talk about, going to have so much news. There's going to be so much stuff going on in the not only the NFL, but also college football stuff is going to start up too. So we can totally get there. Talking more broadly about August, 3 preseason games for the Seahawks. We're going to have the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. I will do a watch-along stream for one of them. I don't know which one yet. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. I'm probably going to do a watch-along stream tonight for the Hall of Fame game because I know tonight is actually the first preseason game, the Bears-Texans, and it's typically not super interesting, so I might turn the stream on while I'm watching it, and then we can go and have some back and forth and some conversations about certain things with the Seahawks while we're kind of watching the game in the background. I know none of us are going to be focusing in super tightly on the game because it's a preseason Hall of Fame game. Who cares that much? But it'll give me an excuse to stream for the first time in several months, and it'll give us an opportunity to discuss the offseason that we've had and where things are headed. So, yeah, probably going to stream tonight, but you can count on the usual videos once the Seahawks preseason game starts. We're going to do pregame, we're going to do postgame videos, we're going to do postgame streams, we might do some pregame streams as well. We're just going to find things to talk about on the way. So that's going to be August. There's going to be more Mariner stuff, I think, because the team did make moves at the trade deadline to shake things up. So I'm still paying attention to them for a little bit, and I want to see where things go. I want to, before I bury them, I want to make sure that they're actually in the ground. So there's going to be that. We're going to have injury stuff. We're going to have more practice stuff. It's still technically training camp even after preseason starts. So we're going to get all of that stuff. I might do some season prediction stuff for the whole league. I don't know how much interest there would be in that, but I might put together like some season-wide prediction things like I did last year. Excuse me. And yeah, that's basically it. We're almost there. I got to pick a game to do a watch along for, but get ready for us to get back to our typical schedule. You're also going to see some stuff I've never done before in the month of August, starting basically the first week of the meat of the preseason, not the Hall of Fame game, but the actual week 1. You're going to start to see me do things that I've never done before. I'm already definitely trying to put a little bit more into this channel. I've changed the way the intros work. I've changed the format of the video slightly. I'm starting to do my own thumbnails now for at least most of the videos, and basically just trying to mix things up a little bit to make the content a little more engaging. By the way, let me know what you guys think about some of that stuff, like the way I changed the intros, the way I changed the thumbnails. If you have any kind of an opinion on any of that, let me know if you guys think it works or if you think it doesn't work. But yeah, August, you're going to see some more new stuff as well as I continue to try to advance this channel along a little bit as we actually get into the season. So that's basically what we're looking forward to in August. We've got games. We've got all the stuff that comes with it. I'm ready to go. I think you guys are ready to go too. I'm going to try to hit 18,000 subs by the end of the month, and I definitely think we can do it. That's basically the YouTube side of things. I know we dropped off to like 109 members or something because a lot of the members fall off when you're not streaming because nothing's going on. So we're going to be looking to build those numbers back up again to where they were previously. So once I start streaming, we'll be talking a little bit more about member stuff. Maybe we can build back up to like 130, 135 by the end of August. Would be cool. And that's basically the YouTube side of things. Twitch, July. We finally finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, put like 100 hours into it, which I try to not do anymore because I'm playing for a streaming audience now. Even if it's a small audience, I am playing for a streaming audience. But I had to get through it. It was a really good game. I posted my review of it earlier this month. I was really happy it was over, though, because I was ready to move on to other things. I was sick of having that playthrough linger for so long, and I didn't really have a choice but to let it linger because it came out right during draft season, and I kind of just had to string it along for about a 100-hour playthrough, which, hey, it's a great game. I don't regret it, but at the same time, I was ready to move on to other stuff. So with that playthrough over, I started Demon Souls, the PS5 remake, which I've never played before. I played the original Demon Souls, but people are pretty excited about Demon Souls PS5. There was definitely some intrigue on the part of the viewers. So we started that. I'm only like an hour in. It's good, but I got to get deeper into it. So that's going to be kind of the ongoing PS5 playthrough for a little bit here. I was able to get through the Metroid Prime remaster before I started Demon Souls, though, so that was actually very impressive. I thought that game was really good. Had a really good time with it. Impressed with the improvements that they made over the original. And I started Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, which is kind of a throwback game for me, kind of a blast from the past for me, because I played the original Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight when I was a kid a lot, and I had never played the sequel. So now I'm playing it for the first time on stream. It's good. I like it. It's a significant improvement over the first couple games. There's some cool stuff going on in the story, and people are actually kind of into it a little bit more than my typical game that I would play on Steam as well, because a lot of those games are just kind of whatever. Like last week, I played through Battlefield 4 on Steam, and that game was just very much just a whatever single player campaign that takes like 7 hours to go through, and you play it and you just immediately forget about it. But Jedi Outcast is a game that was widely praised when it first came out, and there's a connection to that era of Star Wars that people have lost. So I'm really excited to finish that. I'm like 40% through. So yeah, headed into August, those are going to be the main focuses. Get a start and go through Demon Souls. Finish Jedi Outcast. Games that I'm probably going to start in the month of August, once I'm done with the current playthroughs, would probably be like Resident Evil 2 Remake. I'm going to play a Resident Evil game, I know that. I'm not 100% sure which one yet. I've got a few I'm sitting on, like the original Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake. I've been sitting on those for a little bit. There's probably going to be a couple time waster games like Airline Tycoon. I might take a look at that. And on console, I might take a look at something like Lost Judgment on the PS5, maybe the Fire Emblem spinoff on Switch. I'm not 100% sure yet, but those are the main choices. So it's going to be a fun month. Now that football's starting, I'm going to have a little bit less time to play stuff. But, you know, when it comes to preseason games, there's going to be a lot of multitasking. I'm not going to have my full focus on stuff. So that's Twitch. If that sounds interesting to you, tune in. Stream pretty much every night. Every now and then I miss a night, but for the most part, I stream every night. Streaming simultaneously on Kick, by the way, if you prefer Kick. I am streaming over there. Same stuff I do on Twitch. I mean, X continues to just kind of go along. Still trying to use X a little bit more. Still having some difficulties figuring out how to do it. Instagram, same stuff. I did have a new short that I posted during July. For some reason, there wasn't a lot of interest in it. The previous shorts all did much better, so don't really know what's going on there, but I did finally churn out a new short. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Posted a few days ago. I think it's pretty good. That's really about it. That's really all I got. So that's about the end of the conversation going into August here. I'm excited. I think you guys are excited as well. I'm excited to be playing new games. I'm excited to have all this stuff happening. So I will see you guys later today. There's going to be at least a couple more videos today, I think, because I am due for another Mariners update. And we're going to have to talk more about Seahawks stuff as well, I imagine. So see you guys later. Go Hawks. I just wanted to go ahead and get this video out first before I start talking about any sports stuff. Okay. Go Hawks. Go Mariners. Excited to go on the journey with you. Keep an eye out for a new intro video in the coming weeks, and keep an eye out for some new stuff as well, because this year we're upgrading a little bit.